This is the 2023 Acura RDX A-Spec. It has a sticker price of $55,045, and I'm going to show you what you get for that price. This particular model has an exterior color of majestic black with red interior that really sets things off. That just really pops no matter what the exterior color is. But here's the thing. What you're going to find with the RDX is, number one, a roomy interior for driver and passengers, and a roomy cargo area. You will also find that it handles and rides great, and it offers a lot of technical features, a lot of high-tech stuff here for really less money than most competitors. So we're going to take a quick look at it and see what you can expect to get if this is something you want to buy for 2023. If you like what you see here, I borrowed this model from my friends at Orr Acura here in Shreveport, Louisiana. You can learn more by checking out the link in the description of the video if you would like to buy this exact RDX. And we'll start off here on the front end taking a look at the Jewel Eye LED headlights. A very elegant look, to say the very least. No matter which angle you look from, I think those look very nice, very appropriate for what the vehicle is. A nice, perfect sized turn signal indicator right here, and the LED headlights almost like a check mark of sorts, working the way down right here and then working their way back up on the fender. Kind of gives it that in motion look. Speaking of in motion, let's take a look at the front grille, the upper grille here. I really like what Acura does here because how everything just looks like it kind of works its way out and just is flowing from the Acura logo right here. Definitely a nice look. Then you're going to have the active air curtain right here that's going to allow air through the fender. In fact, hopefully, we won't give you a face full of sunlight here, but give you a good view of where the air is coming out right here in this area. So it does come through the fender. That's going to help to improve airflow and aerodynamics, which means it's going to improve gas mileage. And a nice hood as far as the overall lines go. It's not just flat, working its way up off the fender. It kind of flattens out right here, and then it has a bit of an arc right here. And really, it, again, kind of mimics what we see down here with the Acura logo and the way everything's just kind of flared out with this kind of, I don't know if you'd call it a bulge really so much, but the way the indentation is in the center of the hood here. It looks Acura, it looks right. 255 is going to be the width on your tires. That's going to help to give good traction driving down the road because there's a lot of rubber to plant. The 45 series sidewall surrounding the 20-inch rim. Going to have the A-Spec logo right here, and then the heated, power adjustable and power folding side view mirrors with turn signal indicators built in. Let's see if I can give you a good view of that. Kind of hard to see on this side because of the sun, but we'll walk over here to this side and maybe be able to give you a better look. I'm not sure that that's going to give it to you, but it is there. Here is what your remote looks like. See everything you have here? That's going to be your remote start right there where it says engine hold. And let's see, since I have, I've got the ignition turned on right now, so I can't show you right now with that, but let me see if I can push the button right here and show you that these are not only heated, power adjustable, but also folding side view mirrors. So a very nice look there, very nice features, everything I know you like to see. And it's kind of hard to see some of the body lines here because of this black exterior color, but they do follow the flow of what we've seen from the front end onto the side. The way that the lower door sill here curves out, you've got the trim piece right here. It makes it look nice, it makes it look elegant, but it also makes it look sporty at the same time. And we'll finish things off here. Gonna have obviously the shark fin antenna, the rear roof spoiler right here, and then you do have the exposed rear window wiper. I always like to see car makers put those inside of these rear roof spoilers. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it is there. LED taillights, again, a nice, elegant look. It fits the character of the vehicle. And you do have the hands-free tailgate. Just gonna swipe your foot underneath like that. And the rear tailgate is going to automatically open. Now you can change the height on this. That's why it says hold right here, this hold to set height. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this down just a little bit. I'm gonna hold that, listen for the beeps. Okay, we heard the beeps right there. We're gonna let that go back down and close all the way, and then we'll open it back up, and you'll see that it doesn't open up all the way. So I'll reset that. But as you can see, that's what you have if you don't want the rear liftgate or tailgate to open 100% of the way. And we'll obviously finish things off here on the rear with the Acura logo, the A-Spec logo down here on the left, and on the right-hand side, the RDX and SH all-wheel drive. This is an all-wheel drive vehicle, and you have the nice chrome exhaust tip finishers and a little bit of a rear diffuser, not very big, but really kind of the perfect size, more for looks than anything else, but it does fit the design of the vehicle. And here under the hood is the 2-liter direct injection turbocharged 4-cylinder. It makes 272 horsepower, and the torque numbers come in at 280. You already know it's all-wheel drive. Power ultimately makes its way through a 10-speed automatic transmission. And obviously, one of the real important factors in buying a vehicle in this day and age, even though gas prices are better than they were for some of us at least, how about those all-important MPGs? 21 city, 26 highway, 23 combined, and 4.3 gallons of gas is what Acura says you should use per every 100 miles you drive. And if you're curious about gas tank size, this is a 17.1 gallon gas tank. And if you're saying, Tom, how much can I tow if I buy this RDX? 1,500 pounds, and then you're going to have 29.5 cubic feet of cargo capacity here in this rear area. Let me show you how to maximize your cargo capacity. You're going to come right here. You're going to use that release, just pull on that, and then you can lower the rear seats, obviously on both sides. We're just going to do one side for now, but you can do that, and that is going to obviously help you to maximize cargo capacity. And you do have the nice cargo mat right here. It's going to help keep the carpet nice and clean that's underneath. And as far as what's underneath, let's look underneath the floor here. You do have quite a bit more interior space as far as the cargo area under the floor. A little bit of space on the side here, and a 12-volt power outlet if you wish to use that, and a little more space right here as well. And by the way, there is one more way you can lower both sides down on these seats right here. Right here, this release, you just pull on that and the seats will lower. So a couple of different ways to do that depending on what your preference is. Now, let's take a look at the panoramic sunroof from this angle. Probably the best angle we have, gives you a good idea of what's there. And taking a little bit closer look here into the interior for the first time, we're gonna have our soft touch materials here for the armrest, and that is actually very soft. Put your arm on there. Yep, that feels pretty good. Gonna have Alcantara right here. There's some throughout the interior in a couple of different places. And then here is the door bin. Kind of hard to tell what will fit in there exactly, but a bottle will definitely do it. Water bottle, bottle of protein powder, whatever you're using, it's going to fit just fine. And a very nice look overall with the red interior, obviously accented with the black, the perfect color combination. And then we'll take a look here. You've got the rear seat pockets, and then the dual air conditioning vents here on the rear of the center console. In addition to a couple of USB connectivity options, there should really be 3 of those back here. I never understand why there's only 2 in most vehicles, because you have seating for 3 people back here. But regardless, if you want to have a warm butt during the winter in the back seat area, well, you better call the outboard seats, because those are the ones that are heated. And then we also have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. Now, for you parents, you do have the latch system here. And the thing I like about that is that you don't have to really keep up with any kind of pieces or anything like that. That some of these vehicles have little pieces, plastic pieces that you have to remove to gain access to the latch system. Here, it's just a piece of material, and it goes with Velcro to stay on there. So very easy to access and hide away when you're not using it. And taking a closer look in through the passenger side door for the front seats, yep, you're gonna have more of that Alcantara right there that's gonna flow all the way into the interior. Gonna have some red contrast stitching. I'll show you that a little closer in just a second. More of the nice, comfortable, soft touch materials here for the armrest, and a little bit more space here with the door bin. The A-Spec logo here, it's covered by plastic, so not gonna look as good, but I don't want to take that off since the dealership still has it on there. Power seats, obviously in the front for the driver and the passenger. They are heated and ventilated, and very comfortable, by the way. You can see the nice bolstering there for spirited driving when that occurs. Now, you might wonder about opening the glove box here. There's a button right here, and I'm going to push that button real quick. See if I can get my hand on it. There we go. Kind of hard to find at that angle, but it's not in the traditional place where you just reach up here and find the handle right there. So plenty of space within the nice glove box here. Quite a bit of space. Goes fairly deep back there. And we're going to have the push button shifter with the mode selector up here. Obviously, we'll take a closer look at that as we start the vehicle here in just a second. And then you can conceal away your cup holders if you want to, but there they are if you don't want to conceal those away. And then the center console right here, quite a bit of space in there, fairly deep. Kind of hard to tell on camera how deep that is. And then obviously the lid right here that's going to function as the lid for the console, and another armrest for the driver and the passenger. And you may have seen it earlier, but in case you didn't, here is a USB port, in case you're wondering what options there are for the front seat driver and passenger. And I want to show you a couple of things here that are really important. One that's really important, I should say, but we'll take a look here at the driver's side door. Here are all the controls and everything you would expect. Controls for your power side view mirrors right here. You can lock and unlock the doors, lock the windows, and control all of the windows. Seat memory is right here on the driver's side. But one thing you won't find there are the child safety locks. And if you're saying, well, where are they and how do you activate them? Well, you activate them right here on the rear doors themselves. So when it's in the up position like this, that means it's not active. When it's in the down position like that, it is active. That is something that is very useful to know, especially if you want to hop in the back seat of your new RDX and there's nobody around to help you out. Make sure at least one door on one side is unlocked with those child safety locks before you do that. We're going to have some of our safety features here, and there are quite a few with this model, obviously, as you can see. And then you will have this lever right here that you can drop. Sorry about the glare right there. And that allows you to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. All right, when we hop into the driver's seat, I want to give you the full experience of the sights and literal sounds. So I'll let you listen. Hopefully my mic picked that up. So we're going to hit the push button start right here. I like the fact that it's not just a cheap plastic button. That's actually very nice and elegant looking. I like the red lighting there. That looks nice. And we're going to have a nice, I'd say, upscale looking instrument cluster. The red really matches well. I don't know how well that picks up during the day with my GoPro, but one thing I do hope you can see, and I don't know if you can or not, but there is a heads-up display, so that is obviously very helpful. You're going to have the control here for your headlights, for your fog lights, and you can also turn it this way when you're turning right or changing lanes to the right, and down when you're doing all of that stuff to the left to let people around you know what you're doing. That's called a turn signal indicator or a blinker stalk, turn signal stalk. And it helps people around you a lot and makes you look like a good driver. And I can't say anything sarcastic about the control here for your window wipers, your front window and rear window wiper control. But there it is. All of you tend to use that. And then you have the nice looking brushed aluminum shifter paddles on the steering wheel on both sides. They're nice and large and they just look right. They look Acura, I will say. And then we're going to have our steering wheel mounted controls. Obviously, you have your heated steering wheel right there, so that's good. We don't need that right now because it isn't quite that warm outside, but it is there. Adaptive cruise control. And then we're going to have, obviously, the heated seats. I talked about that earlier, but I'll just show you everything in action, heated and ventilated. And tell me, do you like the push button shifter or not? Tell me what your thoughts are and tell me why you gave the answer that you did. And obviously, this is your mode selector right here. So when you change modes, you'll get to see what mode you changed to on the screen. Nice graphics that are animated, give you a good idea of what's going on with the vehicle. And then you can obviously go into gear and do all that good stuff. Turn off the auto stop start feature if you want to. Now, one thing you may not be aware of, this is not a touch screen. And the reason for that is because of how far away it is. Where I am in the driver's seat, I can't even reach it. I'd have to lean way forward to do that. So you're actually going to use the trackpad right here. Not a bad thing, not terribly difficult to use. You just get used to it. But I want to show you a little trick real quick. Notice how I'm obviously scrolling around with my finger. When I take my finger off of the pad, just like that, well, in fact, let's see if I can show you real quick. Here we go. I think you can see both at the same time. It's not there anymore. So to select something, you're going to have to actually push down on the trackpad, and that's how you make your selections. And then obviously you have your back button, you have your home button. There's a lot here. Nice navigation built in, and never mind that blinking effect that you see right there. That has to do with the shutter speed of my GoPro. So just so you know, I know a lot of people ask about that. That is no fault of Acura's, so not an issue whatsoever. And we'll go into reverse and take a look at our rear view cameras. You do have the overhead 360-degree view, so you have quite a bit going on there. You can make some changes if you want to, depending on what you want to do and what you want to see. So obviously a very nice system here. And the thing about it that I like, when you open the driver's side door, it's automatically going to go back into park. Now that only works on the driver's side door. So if somebody opens one of the other 3 doors, that won't happen. But I'll tell you an interesting thing about that. Don't get in the habit of doing that, because eventually you're going to get in a vehicle that doesn't do that. And out of habit, you might open the door and it's just vehicle's going to start rolling. So I actually had a friend that did that at a car dealership one day. So just something to think about as far as how that works. And before we head out for our test drive, I'm going to hit the button here and turn everything back off and let you listen to the feature as you exit and see what happens. Your RDX literally is going away, saying goodbye on the instrument cluster. Okay, let's hop out on the road for a quick test drive here with the RDX. And I know a lot of people are going to ask about the horsepower numbers and say, well, is that enough? Do you need more than 272? Well, I really don't think you do. That's, you know, in a day and age where obviously vehicles have a lot more horsepower than they once did, that might sound like a really low number, the 272 horsepower, 280 on the torque, but it really seems to be more than enough. It's going to get you down the road. It's going to get the job done getting up to highway speed when you're on a 2-lane road and you can safely pass somebody. You can easily make that happen, get around them when you need to when they're driving too slowly, whatever the case is. It feels like it's more than enough. The size of the vehicle is sometimes a little deceptive on things like that, because its size makes it feel like you're not moving as quickly as you are. But when you look down at whether it's the digital speedometer you have here on the instrument cluster, you also have the analog speedometer, but also your heads-up display right here. Well, you're going to look down and say, oh, wait a minute, I'm going faster than I thought I was. And so I don't think that's going to be an issue. No trouble with comfort here. The seats themselves are nice and comfortable. There's plenty of room. Depending on where you live, you may absolutely fall in love with the heated steering wheel. Obviously, you've got your options for the heated seats and the ventilated seats, so that's a big benefit there. Tell me what you think. I haven't seen this yet. I don't know that it doesn't exist out there, but I don't think I've ever seen it before. You always have heated steering wheels on vehicles that are equipped, obviously, but never a ventilated steering wheel. Would you like to see a cooled steering wheel? That can be interesting to have, so just something to think about. But obviously, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. It's comfortable, plenty of interior space for the driver and the passengers, as well as all that cargo space back there. So a really great vehicle for those road trips with the wife and kids. You know, if you have a couple of kids, they'll be comfortable and happy back there in the back seat. Shouldn't be a problem, because there is plenty of room back there, ample leg room, and then all the cargo capacity back there for luggage and whatever y'all are hauling around with you. Overall, a very enjoyable vehicle. And an interesting thing, obviously you have the panoramic sunroof here. I did a poll a while back, and 68% of you that answered that poll said you preferred a panoramic sunroof. So, well, there's that as well. So you do get quite a bit here. Obviously, a lot of safety features as far as lane keeping assist, road departure, all that stuff, and talked about the fact that you have adaptive cruise control here. So all of that is here. Not much missing, if anything at all. And that is what you get for $55,045 on the 2023 Acura RDX A-Spec. Tell me what you think down in the comments, and tell me if this is something you plan to buy for 2023. In a perfect situation, how are you going to spec it out? Tell me what your answer is. Tell me why you answered the way that you did. I'm always curious to know. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends at Orr Acura for loaning me this RDX for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.